Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's the Pet Entrepreneurs here, and today what we'll be doing is we'll be continuing our Investing with Max series. If you guys have not watched the previous video, I highly suggest you guys go watch that now. As a disclaimer, this is just for educational purposes only, and if you're looking for financial advice, I highly suggest you seek out a registered financial advisor. If that makes sense, let's get started. All right, I'm gonna share my screen here, and as per usual, we're gonna be talking about the cannabis space. You can see here that I'm already looking at CEO.ca, looking at TradingView, and etc. etc. So I'm just gonna expand myself here to make myself a little bit bigger. But under TradingView, you can see here we're looking at Riv Capital, and yeah, definitely what we're seeing from the summer lull, and we did have that spike up around September. Then now it's just stabilizing, and you can see the higher low and lower high in here, and it's just within that support and resistance. And it's nice that you can see from the summer, like it dramatically went down, and if you would have bought in around the August time, then when September hit, you got that major spike. So for example, in here from 10 cents all the way up to 22 cents, so basically that's 100% of your money if you would have invested at the right time. And it's hard to actually predict this, but you can definitely see there was indication that the volume itself was going up and up, right? So in the summertime, the volume was around 3K, 4K, 8K. Then eventually when it hits the end of August, it started to climb at 63K. Then you can see 209K, right? So it's pretty crazy what you can see there. Then, so that's Riv Capital there. So you can see the support and resistance from there. And also you're looking at the other things, the other indication, the MACD, and they haven't really crossed to see that golden cross there. It's just in this case it's just stabilizing right now, or you can say consolidating. That's what another word for it, of what people say. It's just consolidating in the support resistance. Okay, so that's Riv Capital. So in here, what you can see under CEO.ca is that they had a news on the 17th, which was last Friday, and they're just talking about their news release for their financial statement for their fiscal quarterly ending September 30th, 2023. So if you do click on this, you can see more information about it and talking about the financial statement of Riv Capital currently. And yeah, highly recommend to definitely check it out. But I did want to mention in here, so if you go to this other news release, which is on November 7th, you can see that Riv Capital completes the expansion of the New York cultivation and production operation. So this is in the New York City, where they were talking about creating a 75,000 square feet of high-tech greenhouse cultivation space, lab and manufacturing space, distribution and warehouse space, and finishing goods and dry flowers storage space. So that's for the completion of the Chestertown facility. So that's a good kind of step in the multi-state platform of what Riv Capital is wanting to do in the US space, because they basically essentially abandoned the Canadian market and going full force in the US market. They want to be a US business, a US organization, so that they can really capitalize on it when it does become legalized in the federal level, right? So right now, some of the states are legalized for medicinal and recreational, but there are some other states that are still not legalized, and basically that's kind of like hindering some of the, I guess what you can say, strong bullish that we've seen in the past, especially in the Canadian space. Like when it was 2018, we saw that bullish market when it was going to be legalized. That was like great, upward trajectory for the stocks, right? But now we're seeing the hype go down, and that's why we're seeing the share price or the SP at its current level. So we definitely really need some good news, because if we don't have any good news or even rumors, then we're not going to see that spike that we saw in the past. But we did see in September, there were talking about people that were talking about legalizing marijuana in the federal level, and basically changing the class of it in the US space, so not being the same class as the other first drugs such as cocaine, blah 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 blah, etc., right? So we want to declassify that as in that class to something else, so that way when the legalization hit, it's going to be a lot better for it, and a lot of the banks will be able to invest in it and put more money in. So that's the ultimate thing that's hindering the space right now, is that there's no real support in terms of getting it legalized to what the federal really needs, kind of like the Canadian market, right? Okay, so that's Riv Capital. And going over to Lifeus, you can see here that it did break the support, and it's going to basically at the 1 cent level right now. And you can see the last trading day, it was negative 33.33% and minus 0.5%. So there was a lot of activity last trading day. You can see here that it hit 7.45 million, and the one before that one is 6.1 million. But you can see that on November, I believe this was 16th, you can see that it went down, right, like below 1 cent. And in here, if you go to the CEO.ca and we'll look at Lifeus here. So in Lifeus, we can see that a lot of people are, saying the sector needs to rebound, filled all but 5 shares. Maybe the naked positions were all covered at 1 cent. That's why we're seeing the slowdown today. Whoever's selling at 5 cents, 5.5 cents, or half a cent is taking in an auto loss. That's nothing. 95K on TXX. So yeah, not much action going on with Lifeus in terms of any news, but the stock has just been going down quite significantly, and there was not much of a rebound that we've seen so far. And if I just kind of like toggle this all the way back out and just zoom out in here, you can see that ever since 2023 January, it's been going down significantly. And even in 2022 around December, when it had the hype and the September kind of pattern that we're seeing, you can see that it did spike up around that time in 2022 September, and it was, you can see here, the all-time I guess you can say high at that point. So here I'll show you. So in here, so the high at that point was 14 cents, 14.5 cents, and the low was 10.5 cents. This was on September 6th. That's when it just peaked, and after that on the high of September 2nd, which was 12.5 cents and low of 9 cents. But even before that, right guys, like you can see here how dramatically it went down all the way from 40 cents, right? 40 cents. Then even before that, 42 cents around the 2021 range, February. That's when it drastically went down. Then it just kept on going down and down ever since then, till we see another hype. So currently we're not seeing, a reversal trend yet. It's still been going down. So the hype hasn't been what it was from before. So if you were short in the stock and you've been shorting this in 2021, you probably made a lot of money, right? Like even like the last trading day, if you would have short this and you were able to cash out, then you would have made at least 33.33%, right? If that was the case. So those are the things that you have to play. You definitely need to play. If you're a trader, a daily trader, you have to play two ways: when the stock is going up and also when the stock is going down. Those are the two ways that you can make money in the stock market. Okay, so going over to BLGV. So you can see here that not much action going on with BLGB, and the trading volume was super low. You can see 20K, 3K, 2K, but on the 14th, it had a significant volume trade, which was at 370K. And on the 14th, it had basically 80K, and it had its earning report on the Monday, November 20th, which is coming up, right? That's the period ending of September 2023. So we'll see that Monday coming, and we'll see if their financial statement's good. But yeah, you can see just significantly not much activity going on. You can see it's very choppy, and even some days you can't even see any trading volume, and it's not going up any, like even half a cent or 1 cent or whatever. So you're not really seeing much of that activity. So right now it is at 1.5 cent, but it hasn't been trading above that in a while. So if I go to BLTV, click on this, and you can see that much. So the last comment here was on November 5th, and you can see, oh wow, we back here again. So yeah, never trust CEO, I like your style, everyone, blah 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 blah. So yeah, so that's BLGB. Not much action, so not much to talk about. Going over to weed. So weed looks like last trading day was up 3 cents, and it was up 4.05%. And what you can see here is now it looks like it's consolidating. So you can see here it's consolidating. You're not seeing much major uptick or downtrend. It's definitely ever since, I would say, October 19th to November 19th. So I guess the last trading days was the 17th. It's been hovering in the support and resistance, and no major uptick yet. So we'll see. But you can see here that the green line passed the blue line, so that's a great indication. But what we do want is if we can get the green line past the red line, that we might see a golden cross, meaning that we might see an uptrend again, and hopefully we can see a support resistant change where you can see here that the last trading day was at the high of $2.60, not this last trading day, but I'm talking about here. What you can see when the volume was picking up, you can see that the high was $2.60, low of 178, and it closed at 182. So that's pretty amazing. And in here, $2.43 of high, low of $1.39. So if we can pass this and we see it break the resistance, then we might see another uptrend eventually. Okay, so under weeds here, so you can see that why the stock, in my opinion, why it went down quite significantly is because of the issue with BioSteel, and how BioSteel talked about going bankrupt, and how Canopy is putting in so much money in this company that wasn't even making money. So what they've done is basically they cut ties with this company so that they can improve their balance sheet. And they talk about that in the financial statement, and also you can see here, Canopy Growth announced that BioSteel obtains court approval of successful bids in the sales and investment solicitation process. So if you actually click on this, you'll be able to see more information about what's going to go down with BioSteel and all that good stuff. So you can see here a sale substantial of the asset of BioSteel Canada, dated on November 9th, purchase and da. Okay, so that's weed. Going over to ACB, the same kind of trend what you saw with weed with TLRY. You can see that same pattern where it spiked in December, right, early September. Then after that it went down significantly. Hype went down. People locked in their profits. Then you can see the stock is now consolidating, and in this case we're seeing a support resistance that are hovering around this area here. You can see that once you get a high-tech SP, or meaning like you can see the SP go up quite significantly, the volume also goes up. Then when it starts to go down, you can see the volume starts to go down too. So great indication, right? If you are doing charting and you're day trading, you can definitely see this. You can look at the daily, hour, daily charting, 4-hour charting, 1-hour charting, 15-minute charting, 5 minutes, and 1 minute charting. You'll be able to kind of see that, and if you zoom out, you'll be able to see what you're seeing right now in a daily kind of candlestick. And in ACB, you can see here. So you can see that the rating for targeted price for ACB is around 80 cents. Right now, it is trading at 65 cents, right? So that could be a bullish rating, but even though it says neutral, so right now, that could be a sign of good news if you are wanting to trade in ACB. But you can see some people say, I hope so. I'm hitting myself on the last pump. I should have sold. Some people should have sold, but they didn't sell, right? So they're still holding the bag. Gains are ahead. Will move into when they know they need, and all that good stuff. So yeah, people just chatting here. Not much activities when it is like a lot of volume, but right now it's just a little bit of people talking. All right, so looking at TLRY, the last one, so it was up 4.11%, so up 10 cents last trading day. So it is still above $2.49, which is really good, especially if you're trading NASDAQ. I know this is TSX, but right now TLRY is above $1, so they don't have to worry about the compliance in the NASDAQ requirements. It needs that it has to be over $1, right? I know for weed it's below $1, so they're very concerned about the SP, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen there, if they're gonna do a reverse split so that they can bring the SP up. We'll just have to see what's gonna happen, because I know that they did make the decision already that they wanna consolidate the SP, right? Consolidate these stocks so that they can bring the SP up, so that they're compliant with the NASDAQ requirements. But in TLRY, what you can see here, that they're in pretty good, I guess you can say, situation here, where you can see that major volume in September again, right? And you saw that SP go up, but it didn't drastically go down. It went down little by little, right? Not like the other big companies such as ACB and Weed, where it just like dropped. But here it kind of went down little by little. Then you can see the U shape here, where it looks like a cup and handle, but it didn't break this support. And that's good. It didn't break the support, but it also didn't break this resistance, right? So you can see that cup and handle goes down, then tries again, goes down. So we'll definitely need something really good news. And I know TLRY has been, pumping out a lot of, I guess you can say, news and a lot of activities that's going on in the company. So I mean, that's helping with their share price as well. So yeah, going over to TLRY, you can see here that they had a news again. So they talked about crafted for the people, Sweetwater's new half a gummy IPA meets consumer demand for fruity, easy drinking beer. So that's on November 16th that they sent that out. And also you can see there was another news that they had on November 15th. So they're actually really pumping out all these newsletters, right? Talking about, what their business is doing. And another one is TLRY brand expand cannabis beverage portfolio with new THC, CBG, and CBD drink innovation by the top performing Canadian brands. So that was on November 15th. So that was the day before the crafted for people half a gummy news. And November 9th, right, another news release talking about good supply cannabis launch, get listen holiday campaign, and new limited edition product across Canada, right? So and that was on November 9th. Then on November 1st, you can see Sweetwater Brewing Company launched special edition 420 IPA partnership with the Georgia Aquarium, one of the top aquarium in the world. So another news release on November 1st. Then October 30th, another one. You can see here Blue Point Brewing announced cash Festival and New Beer lineup, right? So that was on November 30th. Then November 24th, Sweetwater Brewing Company unveils fall craft beer lineup. Then the 19th. So you can definitely tell like the company is doing a lot of activities and they're not afraid to show their investors what they're doing. As for the other companies that are struggling, it looks like they're not sending out or they're not releasing news release kind of like this so that the investors are in the loop of what's going on. So that's why I think TLRY is doing really well, is because of the constant update of what's going on with the company. Okay, so yeah, that's basically the Riv Capital, Lifeus, BLGV, Weed, ACB, TLRY. That's what we talked about today. And as per usual, what I'm thinking in the next month or two, if we do see the Bank Act and something about good news about the legalization in the US, we might see another bullish market going. But as of now, it's just consolidating, and some people are just taking the profit that they had in September and they're waiting for the right time again. And once the volume start to pick back up, we might see another rally. Okay, as per usual, I'm just going to show you at the very end here. Right now I am down negative 95.31%. For Lifeus, you can see here it's down 96.71, so minus 13,372 and 32 cents. And for Riv Capital, it's down 89.14, so 903 and 15 cents. And yeah, so the trailing 12 months ROR is negative 80.65 as of its current state. So we definitely need something to make a catalyst for the industry, and if we can see a catalyst, we'll definitely see the stock, especially the SP, go up again. Until then, thank you for joining, and if you have any questions, definitely direct message me or comment down below. All right, till then, have a good day. Bye bye.